family. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. Today is Tomato Day. You say tomato, I say tomato. You say potato, I say let's call the whole thing off. No, seriously. We did zucchinis because the harvest is coming in, and I'm sure, you know, everybody knows that what the world are we going to do with these zucchinis, and what are we going to do with the tomatoes? And there's nothing like a tomato sandwich. A nice slice of bread, very lightly covered with mayonnaise, just light. Big, thick slices of, like, how about like one of these nice big juicy beef steaks? Or if you would rather have some, like, look at these babies still on the vine. And then if you didn't like them, you can use the Roma or the plum tomato. Any and all varieties are so good. The juicier and the redder, the better. And then you just a little salt and pepper. And some people put little fresh basil leaves on there. Some people slice a little bit of onion. Some people fry an egg and put on it. Now we're getting into more than just a tomato sandwich, but they're all good. But how many tomato sandwiches can you eat in a season? Well, knowing Paul, you can eat a lot because he loves them. But there's other things to do with tomatoes, and that's what today's program's all about. We're going to show you some ideas, even some entertaining ideas. Like if you have some folks over, you're sitting out for a little bit on a nice evening, we get some nice warm evenings. We're going to show you some ideas to do some little appetizers. We're going to make a soup. We're going to make a fruit and tomato salad. Interesting. And we're even going to make raspberry jam, yes, made with tomatoes. All of that right after the hint. We'll be right back in just a minute. Here's today's at-home hint. To remove skin of tomatoes, cut a small X in the bottom of the tomato and simply plunge the tomato into boiling water for 10 seconds. Then into ice water. The skin should easily peel right off.
If you have an at-home hint, a favorite recipe, or just a friendly greeting you'd like to share, we'd like to hear from you. Post it in the comments of this video or visit our Facebook page.
Well, the little tomato herself's over here to help me today. She even wore red, you know. I'm the more pink because I'm not quite ripe yet, but she's ripe. But anyway, you're going to make what?
I am making tomato gorgonzola soup.
Gorgonzola.
Gorgonzola.
Gorgonzola. Not gondola, gorgonzola.
Gorgonzola.
Yeah, I love this combination. Tomato and that cheese. That's
Oh, yeah.
an awesome thing. So what do you got started there? You got
Right now
some
the
oil?
oil's in the pot getting hot.
Just a tablespoon or two?
Right, a couple tablespoons of oil, and then I'm adding a half cup of red pepper that's been cooked.
Finely chopped.
Finely chopped up, and then
That's a red
onions,
onion.
about a half of a large red onion.
And that's going to make an incredible base
Oh yeah,
for
and your
this
garlic.
soup.
And there's a lot of garlic. 4 cloves.
Ooh, yeah.
A lot of garlic.
That's minced, so that's real
That's minced,
fine.
right.
And you don't want that garlic to burn, because you've got to start all over again because it affects the whole taste of the whole dish. So that's going to be,
Yeah,
you have to cook
that
4 or
about-
5 minutes. Okay. And then what else you have here that's going to go in it?
We're going to put cream cheese, milk, tomato juice, tomatoes, fresh basil,
And
gorgonzola,
this is cream?
and heavy cream, right.
And this
Salt
is
and pepper.
gorgonzola you're going to crumble up
Right,
at the
gonna
end.
crumble up, right.
And fresh basil. Anytime you use a fresh herb, put it in at the end because that's when it holds its flavor and the color. I'm going to be making a tomato harvest pie. I've got my pie crust. This is just a 9-inch, not a deep dish, but you know, you could if you wanted to. But I've just put it out like this. I've got some Parmesan, finely grated Parmesan. Just going to cover the bottom of my dish with the cheese. And then these are sliced tomatoes. We have to thank Jordan's because they give us such beautiful produce that we have sliced, and then you want to salt them and let the water, the juices drain out. If you don't, this will be a soggy mess. You let that drain about 10 minutes, then you take paper towels, put them on paper towels, and you let the juice come out and you wipe them down because it's really important to do that. So you just start layering all the tomatoes. Slice them thin because they're easier to cut when it comes time to serve this. If you have a big, thick piece of tomatoes, sometimes it's harder to serve. And you want to fill it up pretty good. These are beautiful tomatoes. Oh, the smell. Everybody that's been in here in the kitchen today has been saying, what do I smell? Tomatoes. They're from one end to the other, you can imagine. Just like the last time, it was zucchinis everywhere. But how are we doing over there?
This is looking good.
It smells like it's starting to
Yeah, you
sweat.
can smell that garlic and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's a great basis for any kind of a soup, really. Just some good fresh vegetables. Important to do that.
Yeah, this is coming up.
All right,
nice.
and now we have that.
Put all those tomatoes on there.
Yeah, and now I'm going to take some green onions, been chopped fine. I'm just going to layer them over the top of
That
the
looks
tomato.
pretty, not even cooked, don't it?
This is the Italian pie.
Yeah,
The red, white, and green. What more do you want, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we just put all of that. We'll make a good flavor. Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. Okay, now I'm going to put a topping on this. And for that, I'm just going to take some mayonnaise. Use a good kind of mayonnaise, a good brand. This is, let's see, how much? About 3/4 cup, something like that. Scrape it all out because you want it all to get into that. There we go. And some garlic, only 1 clove here, just a little bit to give it a taste, all right? And then some cornstarch. You say, what the world are you putting cornstarch in? Because this is going to thicken it up and thicken any juices that will come off the tomatoes also. So we have 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Okay, just want to mix that around a little bit. It gives it a stability, that cornstarch does.
So it don't get too watery on you.
And I'm going to, now this is kosher salt. Just going to salt. Remember, tomatoes really like salt. And then we have our black pepper. And I like a lot of black pepper on tomatoes also. It'll give it a good
That's
flavor.
my husband likes black pepper on everything.
Does he? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
goodness,
Well, you
especially
know, when I
tomatoes.
stopped using so much salt on everything, everything seemed like it didn't have a good flavor, and you have to have flavor. So I started using pepper more, and boy, that does help it. Makes it wonderful. Okay, now we have some, this would be cheddar cheese. That's going to go in there. And some more Parmesan cheese. This time, it's a 1/2 cup. Okay? And we're just going to mix it around. I think I'd do better with a spoon. Sometimes the plastic doesn't bend, so you can't get a good grip going around the bowl, but you can with a spoon. Plus, we're not going to spread this on top. We're just going to dollop this on the top of that pie. And then we want our oven to be on 375 degrees. And we're going to bake this until it's golden brown, about 45 to 50 minutes. That's going to be good.
All right, I'm starting to add my cheeses.
Okay, now what cheese did you put in there?
I put Gorgonzola that I crumbled up, and I put some cream cheese in, about 8-ounce block.
8 ounce? Okay,
Softened cream cheese.
okay.
And I'm going to add my milk, which is a cup of milk. So this will make a nice creamy soup.
Oh, yeah. What's not to like, huh? Okay, and I'm just dolloping my topping over top of the pie. The smell in here is
Oh,
incredible.
that is really pretty.
Yeah. When that starts to cook, that's all going to blend and
It'll all
melt
melt
together.
down in.
Yeah. It will be good. And that cheese will melt. Oh, yeah. Now, how long does that have to cook, Patti? Now that you're at that
Probably
step.
about another 20 minutes, once I get the rest of the stuff in there.
Okay.
I'm going to stir in the tomatoes, and but I'm just trying to break up some
You
of
want to
this
get that?
cheese
Yeah.
before I
maybe.
add the tomatoes in.
Okay, you know, if you're making this at home, you might want to, instead of putting that cheese in one big chunk, you might want to cut that in
Cut it in
smaller
pieces.
cubes if you're in a hurry. That would help.
That would have been a smarter
That would have been
idea.
easier, huh?
Cute.
I tell you, when we prepare these things, we think we're thinking ahead on everything, but sometimes it falls through the cracks. But it all works out in the end, and that's the important thing. And I hope
That's
that you're
all.
going to be writing for recipes, because these recipes are really good. We've put a lot of thought into them, trying to think something different that you could make with your tomatoes and your harvest.
I know, I can't wait to try that pie.
I
on
know,
my
it
family.
smells so good.
Oh, yeah,
What's not to like, huh?
that's right.
Okay. Again, as I said, this will go about 45 to 50 minutes in a 375 preheated oven. Preheated, okay? Patty, would you want to drop this in and I'll stir for you? Okay? No, not the bun.
You don't
There
want
you
the
go.
glass plate, huh?
No, we'll leave that
That
there.
would be ugly.
Oh, yes, you can see how creamy this is. Now, is there other stuff we put in this?
Yeah, we have to put the basil.
Did you
The
do salt and
juice.
pepper yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so that comes in later, huh? Okay.
Put the juice.
Okay, you do that. I'm going to do this. That's just plain tomato
this is
juice.
just all gonna fit in there, yeah.
And let me do the salt.
Your salt.
Okay, this is kosher salt again, and some good old black pepper.
And we have to put the sugar in too.
And this is what? How many?
That is
Tablespoon?
4, yeah,
Okay.
4 teaspoons actually.
Oh, 4 teaspoons. And I already did the pepper, so we won't worry about that.
And our basil.
And do the basil now? Why don't we wait till that cooks down and put that in layer of
Okay.
the steak? We're going to
Okay.
go, when we come back, we're going to do more. She's still working on the soup. The pie's in the oven. We'll be back with more tomatoes here at home. Stay with us.
Do you love watching At Home with Arlene Williams? Then be sure to check out our new YouTube channel. It's filled with classic episodes from over 20 years of At Home, and more videos are added each day. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
All right, Patty, you're starting to make us
The-
raspberry jam. Yeah, that's what I said, made with tomatoes.
Yeah, so
And
cool.
you have 5 cups of chopped tomatoes in
Right.
there. What are you adding to it?
I'm adding a tablespoon of lemon juice.
Okay, fresh lemon juice is always better.
Ooh, from the
And
seed.
some
And
sugar.
4 cups of sugar.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be very sweet, huh?
Well, it is because it's jam.
And I'm teasing.
Okay, put it in there. Now, this is jam's great because you don't have to, can it like you would normally can and do the wax and all that, because this jam, once this cooks for 20 minutes, and it will deteriorate, it will break down and break down, then you're going to add 2 boxes of regular Jell-O raspberry flavor. That's what gives it the flavor. And you're going to take it off the heat to do that. That's 2 boxes, regular size boxes. And then you basically put it into your jars and you let it sit for 1 hour without the lid. After the hour, so it comes to room temperature, then you're going to put the lid on and you're going to screw it tight. Let it sit for 3 hours. And then you refrigerate it. And you use it, you could even put it in the freezer in little jars if you wanted to. I'm telling you, this stuff is really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've made it. I really, really enjoy it. Okay, here we go. I'm making, mine is called a tomato fruit salad.
Huh.
Tomatoes and fruit. You know, a tomato is a fruit.
Fruit, yeah, I do.
So that's not so unusual. And what I've done here is just have some sliced peaches, fresh wedges of tomatoes. Isn't this pretty on this dish?
That does look
I
beautiful.
think it's lovely. I'm just going to make a nice little dressing for it. It's a curry dressing, a little something different. And I have some extra virgin olive oil here, about 3 tablespoons. Put that into my bowl. Okay. Apple cider vinegar goes next. And then a teaspoon of curry. Now, it gives a little different flavor. I'm not really into curry that much.
Me neither.
But hey,
It might be good on this.
it might be all right. That's right. So we mix that together really well.
Don't
And
smell bad.
no, it's going to give it a little different
Little zip.
flavor, yeah. And then we're going to add some kosher salt. And I'm going to use my fresh ground black pepper because I really like this. I like the way that the cut is on it. I like to bite into it and sometimes get a nice big piece of pepper because it lets you know it's in there.
Right.
Okay, so that's that. Okay. Before I put that on, I have some red onion, chopped red onion. I'm going to
Ooh.
sprinkle that. Now you say, Arlene, peaches
And onions.
and a red onion, why not? That's what it says.
That's really interesting.
I think the flavor is going to be good.
I think it is.
I
and
think that
plus
we-
it's colorful.
Well, and I think that we need to stop thinking, well, it's a fruit and it has to be sweet. Not necessarily so.
can
Some
be
of the best,
savory.
some of the best salads I've made for the guys, like after the show's over, is from leftovers that I've just thrown together, and it would be mustard and stuff, and they put it on fruit, and everybody likes it. So why
Yeah.
not? Then we're going to also put some of these little tomatoes just on top. These little grape tomatoes, aren't they cute?
They are cute.
Yeah,
I
you
love
need.
grape tomatoes. I pop them all the time.
Yeah.
Love them.
Well, it's better than, candy and stuff. Just have
Heck
that
yeah.
stuff ready and cleaned and washed in your refrigerator. I think the kids would be more prone to grab something like this if
Yeah.
it's prepared.
Yeah, I know. If I don't have the fruit cut and ready to go, nobody
They don't
eats
eat it. That's right. They're no dummies. They know. They don't want to have to do all the cleaning and cooking and stuff.
Yep.
So we're just going to drop those on top, like so. And then we're going to pour our dressing. And this is our curry and oil dressing. It just goes over the top, like that. This would be great, be a great accompaniment for just about anything, especially like when you're doing something on the grill, maybe some lamb chops or something. I think this would be great. That's all there is to it. That is our wonderful
Oh, that looks really
tomato.
good.
They're pretty.
And I like
Beautiful.
that light dressing on there too.
I do too.
Instead of a heavy.
Instead of it drowning, huh?
Right.
All right, what are we doing? Okay, you want to turn that down
I
to
just
simmer.
did. I just
Okay.
did. And it's got to simmer 25 minutes.
Okay, Patty, let's take a look at your Gorgonzola soup over there. What's
Yeah,
going
it's-
on there?
It's bubbling up. It looks good.
Okay. How much longer does that have to cook?
Probably only a few more minutes.
Okay.
Because it said 15 to 20, so I
Okay.
think we're probably about there.
All right, Patty, maybe you can come and help me with this one
Sure.
then. While that's cooking, we have to wait on it. These are called tomato egg sandwiches. This is an appetizer that you want to make for your family, all right? So we have a chunk of cream cheese,
Okay.
and we have our horseradish sauce. Is that this one?
Yep.
Sorry, I was looking for the bottle. This is about 9-ounce jar. This is not horseradish, this is a sauce. Okay, you want to start to blend those together?
You know how good I am with a mixer.
Yeah, that's why I'm standing back. Okay. And go ahead.
I was looking for the on and off.
And then we're just going to add some onion, finely chopped onion, and a package of ranch dressing mix, dry. Dry. This is going to really pump up the flavor.
I love
Let me
that
get it
ranch.
in there before.
It does give it a nice flavor.
Oh my, delicious. Let me scrape this down. It's a nice combination. I think it's just something different to try. Now here's what we do. We're going to add this in as soon as you get that well done. What we've done is just taken. Okay.
It's alive.
We've taken. Could you turn that down just a little bit? Thank you. We've taken a whole wheat loaf of bread, just sandwich bread. We cut out circles like this, and we took a white. We need 12 of each. This is going to make 24 of these little appetizers. And I need, here, you want to put your, let's do your,
Mix this in.
yeah.
This mixer's
And
crazy.
I'm going to,
Okay, it's on. There we go.
I'm going to spread this once we get that. Let me just get a little something in there. There we go. We're going to spread one side of it. And then we're going to take a slice of tomato, put that right on top, set it down. And then these are hard-boiled eggs.
That's it.
And we're going to slice it. Isn't this wonderful?
That's wonderful. And the
And you're
slices
just
are
going to put a
beautiful.
couple slices of hard-boiled egg right on top. I love it. Can you wait?
I know.
I can't wait. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
That's perfect.
Yum. And we're going to put some, put a little paprika on there for color. We're going to continue making our sandwiches. Her soup is boiling like crazy. And we're going to finish that jam when we come back all right after this. Here's all the recipes on how you can get them today. All right.
Just go to ctvn.org/at-home to get all the recipes from today's show for free. That's right, no subscriptions. They're available online at no cost, and more are being added each day. So join us at ctvn.org/at-home to get today's recipes now.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's program with the tomatoes that we've been doing. And you can see we've got quite a counter full of goodies, and I hope that you are sending for those recipes because you're going to want to. All right, first we have our tomato harvest pie. Here's a little piece of it there. You can see, again, I caution you, make sure that you drain those tomatoes because they get very juicy, and you want to make sure you use paper towels to get the moisture off them. Then we have our tomato fruit salad. Look at
gorgeous.
that.
That is
Isn't
so
beautiful?
pretty. Oh,
Peaches and tomatoes together, and then we put the little ones on top. Some red onion in there. Delicious. Okay? Then our tomato and egg sandwiches. These are the
Aren't they
little
pretty?
appetizers. I'm telling you, we toasted that bread, so it's easy to pick it up. This is with the whole wheat bread. And there's your layer of horseradish and mayonnaise and some goodies in there. And then a slice of tomato, and then your couple slices of egg on top, and a little sprinkle of dill. Now, we put basil in there, but if you just want to use all dill, that would be fine too. Now we have our fresh
oh, look at that.
patty. This is the one you made.
Yes, that looks so
This
good. And I love
smell
tomato
of this
soup,
is
and
incredible.
that's-
Look
looks
at
like
that,
the
nice and
ultimate.
thick, and the smell.
Ultimate
Isn't
tomato
it beautiful?
soup. That's wonderful.
If you didn't want the chunks of tomato, you could put that in the blender and puree that out, but just be sure, careful, because that'll be hot. And then, last but not least, here's our jam. This is our raspberry jam made with tomatoes. I'm telling you, we just did some biscuits. Look at the consistency of this. Just follow the direction really, really well. It's going to be a winner. You're a winner, too, because you've dropped by our kitchen. We're so glad. Be sure to join us the next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you. Get those tomatoes cooking and enjoy them all. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Patti.
Thank
Furnishings provided by Levin Furniture, featuring Lane's Country Living Collection. Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Trevosburg, Pennsylvania.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.